tuned for On the Money. If you have a financial question you want answered by real fiduciaries, the lines are...
Good morning and welcome to On the Money, right here on WDBO AM 580, always streaming inside your very own WDBO app. This is your chance to hop on the air with the experts from the Certified Financial Group. Whether you've heard something from your coworker or your uncle or your nephew who's up and coming in the Bitcoin or whatever you're hearing out there, there's a lot of news going on in the world right now, in the world of financial advising and stocks and portfolios and bonds. And if you want to just run any of that by your local certified financial planners, I have two with me this morning. I have Aaron Bert and Joe Bert, two certified financial planners from the Certified Financial Group, and they've been offering their advice to the team at Certified Financial Group on the airwaves of WDBO for nearly 40 years. A great partnership, one of the only shows like it in the country, the only one in Central Florida where it's live, it's participatory, if I can get the words out. If you want to call in, we have open lines available, 844-580-9326. Joe, Aaron, how are we doing this Saturday?
We're doing great, Josh. Thank you for the nice introduction. As you said, we are here to take the calls that our listeners might have regarding their personal finances, decisions that you're trying to make regarding stocks, bonds, real estate, long-term health care, annuities, life insurance, mutual funds, all that stuff and more that Aaron and I and the 14 other certified financial planners deal with day in and day out, guiding our clients to and through their retirement years for a fee. And by a Saturday morning, we're here for you absolutely free. So if there's anything on your mind, things you want to know, and as you said, Josh, this is the only financial call-in show on the weekends that is not a 1-hour infomercial. It is live. We are here for you. So if there's anything on your minds, the good news for you is the lines are absolutely wide open. All you have to do is pick up the phone and dial these magic numbers.
The numbers are 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO. If you're listening right now, 9:08, Saturday, April 11th, it is the last live edition of On the Money before Tax Day. Tax Day is Wednesday, April 15th, so there might be some questions coming in here. If you got any questions, again, 844-580-9326. Wednesday, April 15th is tax day here in the U.S. here. But the topic of today's show, which might be appropriate for those who are planning, is those who plan do not panic.
Yeah, this is the concept, and really it goes more, well, a couple different things. When we meet with clients, generally they're coming to us because they have a pain. Something's wrong, something happened. There's a realization that the things that they've been doing maybe are maybe not correct. And so they come to us and they're looking for us to talk to them about how to address the pain that they've been experiencing, right? So whether they're getting near retirement and realize they haven't accumulated enough money, or whether that somebody died, or they inherited something, or they had a I don't know, something happened to them in their life.
Or their life's about to change. They're about to retire.
Or want to retire, or considering retiring. Right. Yeah. So there's some sort of pain that they've been experiencing.
Like discomfort.
Yeah, there's discomfort, right? And part of our job, and it's kind of changed since I've been in the business, and I've been in the business now almost 18 years. It was really investment focused, people just wanted money invested. And this is the old days of, you bring money to us. And we do financial planning as well, but now I feel like there's been a shift, and it's been a shift more towards doing financial planning and incorporating all the other pieces around it, with financial planning being kind of the main thing. And then investments being underneath that with insurance and tax planning and estate planning and all these other different types of planning that we do. And really, and the whole reason I'm bringing this up is because what we end up seeing as we go through this process is people bring this pain to us, and then we work through the planning process with them, is the relief that they experience as we go through this. And that it's like going to the doctor, right? You have this pain in your side and you go to the doctor and you want to get it checked out. I mean, is it cancer or is it gas? You know, what's going on? You don't know. And so when you find out, and
is it cancer? Is it gas? I like that.
Yeah. And so what is that pain in my side? And so we kind of adjust those things for our clients, right? And we tell them straight up whether the things that they want to do are realistic or what they need to do to make them realistic. And the relief and the satisfaction and what's the other word I'm looking for? Just the just the they don't have to worry about it anymore. And so. But with that then becomes the next thing, right? So once we engage with planning, and a lot of times we implement the plan. So then clients hire us to not only put a plan together for them, but then to implement that plan. And that's where all those other things come in: building portfolios, monitoring the plan going forward, doing insurance, helping with taxes, so on and so forth. Those people, and the reason I bring this up now is that those people who have a plan in place are the ones who don't panic. And that's been especially useful here this first quarter of the year, because when things like war happen, inflation jumps, just tax law changes, just anything that could, cause upset or angst back in people's lives, usually the people that we've done planning for aren't blowing up our phones because we're prepared for these types of things.
It's interesting you bring that up. We both know a lot of people. And those friends that we have or acquaintances that we have know what we do. And most of them simply because of our size of our company, they believe that all it is investment management. That's a big part of what we do. And when those kinds of situations occur and you meet them casually, this has happened to me more than once. I'm sure it's happened to you, Aaron. You meet them casually, like when the tariff tantrum happens, or the war happens, or some crisis, so to speak. One of the first things they say, I bet your phone's ringing off the hook.
Right. Yep.
Your clients are calling you. And it's amazing. Nobody calls.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like a regular day. And that's the beauty of having, as you're saying, people that plan don't panic. Because if you're trying to do it on your own, you have no idea where you're going and how you're going to get there and what it's supposed to, what your financial portfolio could look like in a down market. You're kind of flying by the seat of your pants.
Right.
It is absolutely amazing that during those times when you would think that everybody's running around with their hair on fire, we don't get any phone calls.
Right.
Yeah.
So the idea, and I only bring this up because it's part of our process, right, is to do the plan, make sure that it's in place, and then working with you to implement that plan. But because really what we end up seeing are the people that do panic are the ones that derail themselves.
Right.
They basically blow themselves up for long-term success. We saw this happen in 2008, 2009. Right. The people that, basically jumped out of the markets at the absolute worst time.
Or how about when President Trump was reelected?
And that happened as well.
Right.
Or in 2000, what was the other one? 2016, I believe we had a big market correction. Right. 2020, we had the big market correction.
Or last April, the temper tantrum.
April when the tariff tantrum. Right, exactly. Right. These are all things that happen. A normal a correction in the markets, and I'm going to say the markets being the S&P 500, but a normal correction in any market is 10 to 15% inter-year, and it always happens all the time.
Right.
And it just causes angst for people for the most part. But again, those who plan generally do not panic, and so that's why we want to emphasize the planning piece. And so if you're working with somebody who basically is just managing your investments and not talking to you at all about planning, you may be having more angst because you don't know what the long-term plan is. You don't know that, you need to be setting aside cash for when you go into retirement to make sure that you don't have to sell in a down market and have sequence of return risk, or, that you're not saving enough so that when you eventually do retire, that you've accumulated enough capital and you're not keeping it up to date, so on and so forth. So this is all part of the planning process that we do day in and day out for our clients. And if you're interested in learning more about our process, or finding out what we do, you can go to our website, financialgroup.com, and we offer complimentary consultations where basically we walk you through our process, tell you what our fees would be to do a plan for you, and go from there.
And the beauty of our system, how we do it when we do that plan for clients, we sit in a conference room, we sit around the round table and put it up on the big screen and walk them through year by year, money coming in, money going out, taxes, inflation, buying cars, taking trips, all those things that need to be considered. And you can see exactly how your cash will last and what changes you should make. And then we give you that plan. We give you access to that plan online.
Right.
And it's dynamic. So if you can't sleep at night, you just go online.
You can go online and bring it up and make
know.
sure that your probability of success is still strong. And
Right. And that's probably another reason why people feel comfortable, because they're not flying, not flying blind. So this is what we do day in and day out. If you'd like more information, as Aaron said, you can go to our website, financialgroup.com, and we offer a no obligation visit to see if what we do can be of help to you. The planning process is has evolved over the years. And I say time and time again, we are more behavioral managers as investment managers, because our job is to keep you from, as I say, blowing yourself up when things get crazy. So anything else you want to say on that topic?
No, I think that's it.
That wraps it up. Okay, we got a text question there, Josh.
We sure do. If you want to call in, we got some open lines for you, so you don't have to panic while working with the Certified Financial Group. 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO. Also, welcome to send in your open mic feature inside the WDBO app. 10 to 15 seconds, send in your question. I'll push play as if you're sitting here in studio with us. Our question comes to us from Jessica. Jessica says, I received a large refund this year that I wasn't expecting. What changed and what should I do about it?
All right, Jessica. Well, it's kind of good news, bad news, right, Aaron?
Well, yeah, and the good news is that you are getting a refund, which means that your taxes probably went down, and then also depends on your age, because with the one big beautiful bill that was passed late last year, several new changes came into effect for older people. So people 65 or older now got a new $6,000 per year additional tax deduction. So that could be what's causing your tax refund to go up. Maybe you are a worker that is a tip worker, and so now you're not paying taxes on tips and overtime, right?
Yep.
And so there's some other opportunities there that possibly that you are getting a refund for. Not to mention that the standard deduction still is really high and has increased every year. So lots of possible reasons why your taxes went down, or why you got a bigger refund. The bad news is that you lent the government money, over the course of the year, probably over withheld now with these new changes that were put into place. So yes, you got a big refund. You got maybe some money back to you, but now is also the time to adjust your possible withholdings, how much you are having withheld, maybe from your paycheck or from your IRA distributions, and adjust that percentage down so that you're not loaning the government money every month or every quarter. That you then get back in April. Though it's funny, some people like that. They want to get back that check.
It's kind of like a surprise.
Yeah,
Kind of like
it's like a bonus at the end of the
lottery.
year.
Won the lottery here in April.
Yeah,
right.
What they don't realize is that they're loaning the government money, interest free, over the course of the year. And so, not always the best idea, but congratulations on getting back your refund. Now the question is, what do you do with it? Right?
Exactly.
Are you going to put it in the bank? You're going to take a trip? You're gonna, if you're still working, maybe you're going to put it in your 401k through payroll deduction. Lots of different things that you could be doing with that to lower your taxes going forward. And then also, again, to make that adjustment in your withholdings so that you're not getting that big refund again next April with these new policies that are in place. We do analysis for people on this. So if you are getting more money back or your tax situation is not right, we do some tax planning around this. We have pretty nifty software where we can upload your tax return and do some analysis and tell you, what you should be withholding and what might be changing your tax situation. So,
but if you have any credit card debt, that's the first thing you want to nail.
Yes.
So take that extra money and pay off that credit card debt if you have it, Jessica. And thanks for the question. You're the bumper music. Josh, take it away.
Thank you so much, Joe and Aaron Bert, two certified financial planners from the Certified Financial Group. Coming up next, we're going to answer Ashley's question about whether or not a Trump account is right for her child. That'll be coming up here after the break. If you want to call in, we got open lines for you. 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning tomorrow
Today
with the Certified Financial Group.
Chosen once again as one of the top 100 financial advisory firms by CNBC of nearly 40,000. And because they won't divulge the selection criteria, asked my colleagues what they thought.
Maybe it's because our history dates back almost 50 years.
Could be because we're independent.
But we custody with national firms like Fidelity and others.
17 CFP professionals under one roof.
Or it could be because we're CFEX certified.
And a real person answers the phone.
In any case, we're proud to have been selected. So if you're looking for financial planning or investment advice for a fee, look us up online. You may be new to the area, but we're not. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries and providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the third or fourth generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today.
As an investor, you want peace of mind. You need to know that your advisor is not only thoroughly competent, but also a fiduciary. In other words, he or she is acting at all times in your best interests. You need to trust your advisor, regardless of how much money you have to invest or what part of the world you're in. It might not be your money you're entrusting the advisor with. Perhaps you're a board member of a charity or foundation whose future depends on prudent investment. Or perhaps you have the responsibility of making investment decisions on behalf of other people. As the trustee of a retirement plan, the decisions you make can have a direct impact on the lives of your employees. Whatever type of investor you are, the solution is to use an advisor certified by the Center for Fiduciary Excellence. A CFEX certified advisory firm demonstrates its adherence to a global fiduciary standard of excellence, a defined standard with specific criteria covering 21 best practices. The documented, repeatable processes and the evidence-based decision-making that CFEX demands are more likely to generate investment portfolios that match client needs and expectations. And because the firm voluntarily agrees to a rigorous annual audit, investors can rest assured that their advisor continues to work to the highest professional standards. This independent verification is even more critical for trustees and investment committee members of retirement plans who are legally required to conduct regular due diligence on their service providers. Use a CFEX certified firm, and that job has been done already by an expert at no expense to the plan. So why leave anything to chance? Insist on working with investment professionals you can truly trust. Insist on using a CFEX certified advisor.
So you guys don't know Chicago, but I'm sure in your neighborhood you guys have an old school butcher where you walk in and there's a bunch of guys, no gloves, big white aprons, and there's Frank and there's Stevie and there's Mikey. And these guys know more about meat and more about animals and more about cooking the meat than any of us will ever learn. And so you walk in and you say, hey, Lou, I need to, I'm barbecuing this weekend, right? What do you like? And Lou goes to the big racks of stuff he has underneath the glass, and he goes, the veal chops, just in from Argentina, they are the bomb. And you go, veal? Ooh, I like veal. Well, what do you got on skirt steak? Oh, we got some great skirt steak. Just came in yesterday from Montana. Skirt steak is one of my favorite, marinated up a little bit. It's fantastic. Lou will never say to you, Elliot, it's a little long on the meat here, big guy. Your cholesterol is getting high. Why don't you go down to the fishmonger a couple blocks and have a nice piece of salmon? Right? He'll never do that. Why? His job is to sell me meat, and I go in, actually the same way I go into the Toyota dealership, because I like Toyotas, and I trust the salesman to sell me a good product if I trust him. And the fact that he's got my interest at heart vis-a-vis my expectations for selling me that thing. By the same token, when I go to see a dietitian, I know she's going to look at all of my labs, she's going to take all the measurements, she's going to run all of her analysis, and she's going to absolutely give me her best thinking on what's best for me. Whether she's a vegetarian or a meat lover, likes this, likes that. If she thinks I should be,
It does not reflect the
Welcome back to On the Money here on WDBO AM 580, always streaming inside your very own WDBO app. If you've got a question about how to get to and through your retirement, I've got experts on the air right now by the name of Aaron Bert and Joe Bert, two certified financial planners with the Certified Financial Group, taking your calls today. Available at 844-580-9326. 844-580 WDBO, or send in your question using the open mic feature inside that WDBO app. Joe, Aaron, if you guys, if a listener is listening right now and they want to come on down to the futuristic studios, the workspace there at Certified Financial Group, there's options for them as well.
Yes, there are. We regularly host seminars in our office, and we do that for a couple of reasons. Mainly to provide general information out to the public, because we find that, providing information helps you make better decisions, get you comfortable with our offices, let you come in and see us. You get to meet some of our professionals. We get you good information, and then maybe if you need services down the road, you're going to consider using us for the planning or investment management or implementation or whatever it is that you need in your personal financial life. And we have some seminars coming up. You can find out about them on our website, financialgroup.com. The next one's going to be hosted by Gary Abley on May 9th here in our office. It's a Saturday from 10 to noon. Will Your Savings Last a Lifetime? Again, hosted by Gary Abley, 9 May from 10 to noon. The one after that is going to be Tax Efficient Investing and Distribution Strategies, hosted by CFP Justin Spittler. That one is 27 June, also from 10 to noon in our offices here at Certified Financial Group. And Charles Curry is hosting Social Security Basic Rules and Claiming Strategies. That one is 18 July, again, 10 to noon here in our offices. You can sign up for all of these at our website, financialgroup.com. There's a little button at the top for seminars. Or I think, what is it? Seminars or events?
Workshops.
Workshops. Yeah, okay, close. Workshops. And absolutely no cost to do so. So leave your checkbook at home. Nothing will be sold. There'll be light refreshments. Again, providing general information here in our state-of-the-art learning center. And you can sign up again online and join. Now, these all fill up relatively fast. So if any of those interest you, I would go to our website and sign up as soon as possible. Also, want to mention that we do have Win Smith taking calls off the air. So if you have a sensitive call that you don't want to necessarily bring up or broadcast to the Central Florida listening area, Win is taking calls off the air. Win also is a CFP professional here in our offices. You can reach him at our office number, 407-869-9800. Again, 407-869-9800. If he does not answer, please leave a message. He's on the phone with somebody else, and he will call you right back.
And want to remind our listeners about Score My Funds, which is an opportunity to have the mutual funds or ETFs that you hold in your brokerage account or in your IRA or 401k. And we will send you a report that is generated from the Center for Fiduciary Studies. It's what we use on a regular basis to analyze the investments that we offer to our clients and to be sure that they're still on track and still maintain the quality that we originally made the recommendation for. So all you have to do is go to scoremyfunds.com. That's scoremyfunds.com. And there's a pull-down menu. You put in the ticker symbol, I should say. If you don't know it, there's a pull-down menu that'll give you that ticker symbol, and we will send you a report within 48 hours. Absolutely no obligation. And if you'd like to follow up on that, we encourage you as well. I see we have a call there. We could probably take the tease for it and hold it after the break there, Josh.
Yep, James is calling from Orlando, and James is on theme with the news this week. He's got a question about SpaceX IPO. With the big Artemis launch, a lot of eyes were looking up north. Yeah. Looking up, no, I shouldn't say north, just looking out to the universe, out to the stars, out to the far side of the moon. So we'll go to James here after this break to get a little bit more info. If you want to hop in line, we got open lines available for you. 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO, or you can send in your question using the WDBO open mic inside the WDBO app. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning tomorrow
Today.
with the Certified Financial Group.
Than any of us will ever learn. And so you walk in, you say, hey, Lou, I need to, I'm barbecuing this weekend, right? What do you like? And Lou goes to, the big racks of stuff he has underneath the glass, and he goes, the veal chops, just in from Argentina, they are the bomb. And you go, veal, oh, I like veal. Well, what do you got on skirt steak? Oh, we got some great skirt steak, just came in yesterday from Montana. Skirt steak is one of my favorite, marinated up a little bit, it's fantastic. Lou will never say to you, Elliot, it's a little long on the meat here, big guy. Your cholesterol is getting high. Why don't you go down to the fishmonger a couple blocks and have a nice piece of salmon? Right? He'll never do that. Why? His job is to sell me meat, and I go in, actually the same way I go into the Toyota dealership, because I like Toyotas, and I trust the salesman to sell me a good product if I trust him. And the fact that he's got my interest at heart vis-a-vis my expectations for selling me that thing. By the same token, when I go to see a dietitian, I know she's going to look at all of my labs, she's going to take all the measurements, she's going to run all of her analysis, and she's going to absolutely give me her best thinking on what's best for me. Whether she's a vegetarian or a meat lover, likes this, likes that, if she thinks I should be doing something differently, even if it's not good for her, she's going to give me an opinion that's for my interest. So what's the difference between a fiduciary and the brokers? Well, these are dietitians, these are butchers. It's that simple. Brokers are butchers selling product. Fiduciaries are dietitians looking after your health. The problem is most people think that their butcher is a dietitian. So when one of your moms or dads or friends calls the broker and says, I got 200 grand, I sold a little piece of property, or I got some inheritance, what should I do with it? They're going in thinking they're talking to a dietitian, and they're really talking to Lou the butcher.
What is a fiduciary? When it comes to investing, a fiduciary is legally required to act in your best interest. For 40 years, planners at Certified Financial Group have been guiding our local clients toward financial peace of mind. The rest of the world is still catching up, but our team of certified financial planners are the local, experienced fiduciaries you can trust. Certified Financial Group are your Central Florida planners. Call us today.
40 years. CFG has been chosen once again as one of the top 100 financial advisory firms by CNBC of nearly 40,000. And because they won't divulge the selection criteria, asked my colleagues what they thought.
Maybe it's because our history dates back almost 50 years.
Could be because we're independent, but we custody with national firms like Fidelity and others.
17 CFP professionals under one roof.
Or it could be because we're CFEX certified.
And a real person answers the phone.
In any case, we're proud to have been selected. So if you're looking for financial planning or investment advice for a fee, look us up online. You may be new to the area, but we're not. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries and providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the third or fourth generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today.
Florida's most listened to Certified Financial Group and out.
Welcome back to On the Money here on WDBO AM 580, always streaming inside your very own WDBO app. If you want to join the conversation, we got some open lines for you available at 844-580-9326. Certified Financial Group, Certified Financial Planners, Aaron Bert and Joe Bert taking your calls live on the air today. 844-580-WDBO or send in your open mic using the WDBO app. Aaron, Joe, what do you say we take James's call about SpaceX?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Hello, James.
You are live on the air, James.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Good morning. What's up?
James.
Hey, so I've been investing heavily in the space sector, specifically Rocket Lab, and it's performed incredibly well for me. My question for you guys this morning is with the potential upcoming SpaceX IPO, if you have any information on that or any guidance. I'm afraid that, I know that Rocket Lab is not a direct competitor, but man, it sure seems like they're going to eat up the whole sector if that does end up happening. So I was curious if you have any ideas on it, and if you know anything about what the potential market cap it might be released at, or whatever that term is, the valuation for the IPO. I haven't heard anything, and I was curious if you guys knew anything.
Have absolutely no idea what the original price is going to, or the IPO price is going to be. Right now in the secondary market, it's trading for as much as $800 a share. And it's, everybody's talking about it because everybody knows Elon Musk. It's going to probably have a big pop when it opens. But as with all IPOs, you get that big run up and then everybody runs to get out the door when you can. And a lot of times that there's a lockup where you can't get out right away. Right. So it's, I can't tell you what it's going to do. I don't have a crystal ball. If I did, you and I and the rest of Central Florida can make a lot of money on this deal, but nobody knows. And I can't opine as to how it compares with the, what's the Rocket Labs you said is the investment that you're using?
Yeah. That's right, RKLB.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the other thought too is, there's a lot of talk about merging all these different companies together that Elon has. So, whether I
agree.
So whether it goes together with X or gets put in with Tesla, or now you're holding a bunch of different companies that maybe aren't so focused just strictly on the space exploration area. There's a lot of unknowns there. Probably going to have, like Joe said, a pop at the beginning. But right now, it's going through the institutional investors. It's going to get put through syndication. It's going to go out to the people. And there'll be an offering. And if you're working with a big financial firm, you may be able to get shares in the initial offering. But then once it goes public, obviously you can get in on that too. But the people that usually get in on the initial offering, there's lockup periods. And so you're just going to watch your price fluctuate as people figure out what the real pricing is once it actually goes public. There is the opportunity. There are some ways to get, the privately held shares currently. You can Google that. That's available, online. But the problem when you get hold of some of the private shares, you're going to either pay huge costs in order to do so, or it's going to be part of a portfolio that has lots of other stuff in it that you may or may not want to have exposure to. So something else to consider. But if you go online and Google SpaceX private holdings, you can find different funds out there that currently have SpaceX or a portion of it held privately within their currently publicly traded portfolio.
I just finished reading Elon Musk's biography by Walter Isaacson. It's a fascinating read about his vision and his strategy and how he runs companies and what he wants to do. And Aaron brings up a very good point. It wouldn't surprise me if all these companies are wrapped up into one big offering, whether it's going to be X, which used to be Twitter, right, whether it's going to be Tesla, whether it's going to be Starlink, whether it's going to be SpaceX, the robot company, and the boring company, which is building tunnels in Las Vegas, wants to do one in Miami. That's the way he operates. So it may be just one big conglomerate with some winners, some losers, but Elon will be a trillionaire if he's not already. So, James, it's a high risk, high reward proposition, and we appreciate your call. I can't give you any direction as to what it's going to open and what to do, but I'm glad that you made money on Rocket Labs there, buddy.
Yeah, and I would just keep your ears open because as stuff comes available, you'll hear about it in the publications, financial publications, Wall Street Journal, et cetera. So, and if you are interested in getting hooked up with institutional, or if you go through one of the big banks, so you can find out, who's currently offering it or on the list. There's like 20 banks currently that are on the list, so maybe an opportunity there as well. So appreciate the call, James.
Thanks, James.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, James. If you want to join the conversation, we got open lines available to you, 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO. What do you say we head out to George, who wants to make sure his affairs are in order? Go ahead, George. You're live on the air.
Good morning, George. What's up?
Hey, good morning. Well, for the first time, I had my taxes done electronically by H&R Block, and because I don't have a computer or a cell phone. But am I still going to be getting all my paperwork in the mail as usual, like Social Security earnings or whatever?
Are you going to still be getting all of your, well, a lot of that stuff's online nowadays. So
I'm sorry?
A lot of that stuff is on, you're talking about your Social Security updates? I still get it.
No. You know, I always get everything in the mail,
Right.
you know, your earnings.
Your
whatever.
1099s you're talking about?
Yeah, everything. Am
Yeah.
I still going to be getting that in the mail?
Well, that wouldn't change just because you went to H&R Block.
Right.
Unless you've made some sort of changes in your accounts where now you signed up for electronic delivery of these things. Or a lot of times what we're seeing now is they're opting people into electronic delivery and you actually have to opt out. So you need to be aware of the communications that you're receiving from your different investment companies and make sure that you're responding to those opt-in, opt-out things because you may end up, getting opted into electronic delivery and not necessarily know it. So obviously everyone's situation.
They wouldn't know what to send it. So
you don't have a
only by
computer?
mail.
Oh, then,
Okay, well then
you
I don't
probably
see
have to
how
worry
that
about
would
it.
change.
Yeah.
If they don't have an email address, they can't opt you in. So
No.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So just check your mailbox, George. I'm sure it'll be there.
Okay.
All right, thanks for the call, George.
Thanks for
Appreciate
the
it.
call. Thanks for the call. I see you have another text question there, Josh.
We sure do. It's the one we talked about before going into that break about the Trump account. If you want to join
it's
the
Ashley.
conversation, 844-580-9326. Send in your open mic inside the WDBO app. Also have Win Smith taking your calls off the air, available at 407-869-9800. Ashley wrote to us, and she said, my tax preparer is suggesting that I open a Trump account for my 5-year-old. Is this a good move?
Yeah, so this is a question that we have gotten a lot lately because there is a checkbox on the tax return for opening a Trump account. And so the tax preparers are asking people that have children under the age of 18 whether or not they want to open a Trump account. My thought regarding this is that unless you are eligible for the free $1,000 from the government, and that only goes to children born in 25, 26, 27, and 28, that, I don't see a reason right now to be in a hurry to open a Trump account. There's still more information coming out. You actually can't even open them yet. They don't go into effect, I think, until July 1st of this year. So I would not be having your tax preparer opting you into an additional account that you're not going to get any funding from the government into, and then maybe think about once these things actually open, whether or not you want to make that decision and fund that additional account for your child.
So let's clarify that. A lot of people think the Trump account is for everybody and everybody's going to get it. But as you said, Aaron, it's only available. Let me back up. The $1,000
right
that goes in the Trump account is only available for kids born before January or born after January 1, 2025 and before 2028, December 31, 2028.
Right.
But if up until 18, you can still open the account, but you don't get the $1,000.
Correct. Yep. And people can put money into it. It'll grow tax deferred. It's kind of like I want to say it's like a Roth. You don't get a tax deduction, grows tax deferred.
No, but I read where the Roth is tax free when it comes out.
Yeah, it doesn't come out.
So it's like an after-tax IRA.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a tax-free growth, but you don't even have to pull it out though. The money can sit in there, and there are strategies. We had a radio show about this a couple of weeks ago. You can go on our archive and look at it. But there are strategies also about how you can roll that into a Roth under the child's tax ID number because they're in a low tax bracket after they turn the age of 18, assuming they have earnings and so on and so forth. So there are different ways to do that and to parlay that into more money for your child. But the immediate question about whether or not you should be having your tax preparer opening Trump accounts for you, my thought to that is no, I would wait unless you're eligible for that $1,000.
And, if you're looking for college for that child, you're better off putting it in a 529 plan. It works better because the money comes out tax-free if it's for education.
Absolutely, yep.
Whereas, you still don't get a tax deduction for the money going in, but unlike a Trump account, what coming out for the 529 is tax-free. So it's it's a better use of that money. But if you got some extra bucks laying around, you want to set the kid up for something down the road for retirement, it's not a bad consideration.
Right.
So that's what the Trump account is all about. So I hope that answers your question, Ashley. And another text question floated in there, Josh.
Let's talk.
What you got?
Well, let's talk. Maybe we'll get to the other text question after the break. I do want to bring up some events that are coming up. We do have our seminars. We talked about that the first half hour. They're available online. We have one every month. One in 9 May, Will Your Savings Last a Lifetime? 27 June, Tax Efficient Investing and Distribution Strategies, and then 18 July, Social Security Planning. And we have our famous, well, I don't know if it's famous, but we have our Shred event. It's going to be a live event here at the office. WDBO will be on site, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
We'll have a 2-hour show. It'll be a drive-through Shred event where you can drive through, drop your stuff off. We've done this for, it's been like maybe 10 or 15 years now. I think we got it down to a science.
We do have
But you can also pull over and get some donuts and coffee and talk to people on our staff if you have questions. That is going to be on May 2nd, Saturday, May 2nd. Our annual Shred event will run from 9 to noon. Again, you can swing by. We do limit it to 2 bags or boxes of shreddable papers, so don't load up your truck full of the stuff that's been sitting in your garage for the last 20 years. But it's an opportunity to get rid of stuff after tax season because you've been compiling all this stuff for all these years, and now you can get rid of some things. So we do that as a courtesy, helps prevent identity theft. We do limit it again to 2 boxes or 2 bags of shreddable papers. On our website, we have information about it, and we also have a list of things and how long you should keep it. So it's a keep or shred kind of thing. How long you should be keeping your tax returns and bank statements and titles and trusts and all of those types of documents. So we do have that on our website, financialgroup.com. It basically lays out how long you should be keeping all these documents. If the time has passed for you to hold on to it, throw it in a box and bring it by May 2nd to our office, and we will chew it up for you in our industrial size shredder.
So our office is in Altamont Springs, just south of 434, just west of I-4. Right here in Altamont Springs. So as Aaron said, it is totally free from 9 to noon on May the 2nd. Circle that on your calendar and hope to see you there. And once again, we'll be broadcasting the show live from 9 to 11 on that Saturday morning. I hear the bumper music. Josh, take it away.
So excited for that day. Always a fun day out in the community, out talking to people as they wrap up this season of their taxes. If you want to join the conversation, 844-580-9326, 844-580 WDBO. We also have Wynn Smith taking your calls off the air if you want to hop right inside the office of the Certified Financial Group, available to you at 407-869-9800. 407-869-9800. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning tomorrow
Today
with the Certified Financial Group.
Solution is to use an advisor certified by the Center for Fiduciary Excellence. A CFEX certified advisory firm demonstrates its adherence to a global fiduciary standard of excellence, a defined standard with specific criteria covering 21 best practices. The documented, repeatable processes and the evidence-based decision-making that CFEX demands are more likely to generate investment portfolios that match client needs and expectations. And because the firm voluntarily agrees to a rigorous annual audit, investors can rest assured that their advisor continues to work to the highest professional standards. This independent verification is even more critical for trustees and investment committee members of retirement plans who are legally required to conduct regular due diligence on their service providers. Use a CFEX certified firm, and that job has been done already by an expert at no expense to the plan. So why leave anything to chance? Insist on working with investment professionals you can truly trust. Insist on using a CFEX certified advisor.
So you guys don't know Chicago, but I'm sure in your neighborhood you guys have an old school butcher where you walk in and there's a bunch of guys, no gloves, big white aprons, and there's Frank and there's Stevie and there's Mikey. And these guys know more about meat and more about animals and more about cooking the meat than any of us will ever learn. And so you walk in, you say, hey, Lou, I'm barbecuing this weekend, right? What do you like? And Lou goes to, the big racks of stuff he has underneath the glass, and he goes, the veal chops, just in from Argentina, they are the bomb. And you go, veal, oh, I like veal. Well, what do you got on skirt steak? Oh, we got some great skirt steak, just came in yesterday from Montana. Skirt steak is one of my favorite, marinated up a little bit, it's fantastic. Lou will never say to you, Elliot, it's a little long on the meat here, big guy. Your cholesterol is getting high. Why don't you go down to the fishmonger a couple blocks and have a nice piece of salmon? Right? He'll never do that. Why? His job is to sell me meat, and I go in, actually the same way I go into the Toyota dealership, because I like Toyotas, and I trust the salesman to sell me a good product if I trust him. And the fact that he's got my interest at heart vis-a-vis my expectations for selling me that thing. By the same token, when I go to see a dietitian, I know she's going to look at all of my labs, she's going to take all the measurements, she's going to run all of her analysis, and she's going to absolutely give me her best thinking on what's best for me. Whether she's a vegetarian or a meat lover, likes this, likes that, if she thinks I should be doing something differently, even if it's not good for her, she's going to give me an opinion that's for my interest. So what's the difference between a fiduciary and the brokers? Well, these are dietitians, these are butchers. It's that simple. Brokers are butchers selling product. Fiduciaries are dietitians looking after your health. The problem is most people think that their butcher is a dietitian. So when one of your moms or dads or friends calls the broker and says, I got 200 grand, I sold a little piece of property, or I got some inheritance, what should I do with it? They're going in thinking they're talking to a dietitian, and they're really talking to Lou the butcher.
What is a fiduciary? When it comes to investing, a fiduciary is legally required to act in your best interest. For 40 years, planners at Certified Financial Group have been guiding our local clients toward financial peace of mind. The rest of the world is still catching up, but our team of certified financial planners are the local, experienced fiduciaries you can trust. Certified Financial Group are your Central Florida planners. Call us today.
40 years ago, I had a dream. CFG has been chosen once again as one of the top 100 financial advisory firms by CNBC out of nearly 40,000. And because they won't divulge the selection criteria, asked my colleagues what they thought.
Maybe it's because our history dates back almost 50 years.
Could be because we're independent, but we custody with national firms like Fidelity and others.
17 CFP professionals under one roof.
Or it could be because we're CFEX certified.
And a real person answers the phone.
In any case, we're proud to have been selected. So if you're looking for financial planning or investment advice for a fee, look us up online. You may be new to the area, but we're not. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries and providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the third or fourth generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just...
Welcome back to On the Money here on WDBO, AM 580, always streaming inside your very own WDBO app. If you want to join in on the conversation, I got Aaron Bert and Joe Bert, two certified financial planners from the Certified Financial Group, taking your calls today as this episode comes to a close. If a question pops into your head at 10:01 today, well, luckily for you, the Certified Financial Group is still available to you. Win Smith will take your call off the air right after the show. He's available to you. 407-869-9800. 407-869-9800. Conveniently, that's also the Monday through Friday number if you want to talk to the Certified Financial Group. So that's one to just save in your phone if you ever have a question, or that's a good place to start here on the air. If you want to join in again, 844-580-9326. Chris writes to us from Baldwin Park, Aaron and Joe, and Chris says, My advisor is buying Muni bonds. I'm probably saying that wrong. Money bond, Muni bonds. It's M-U-N-I bond.
Muni.
Stands for
bond.
municipal.
Okay, I'll just say my advisor is buying municipal bonds
There you go.
in my IRA.
Ooh.
Does that make sense?
Generally not.
Yeah. So let's talk real quick about what a municipal bond is. A municipal bond is a debt instrument offered by a municipality. Could be a city, a state, a county, a roadway. It's basically the way that local governments borrow money in order to fund projects. And one of the advantages that, or one of the incentives that the government allows for buying municipal bonds is that the interest that you earn on those municipal bonds is generally tax-free. So municipal bonds are also called tax-free bonds often, and so that's one of the advantages of that. And what that allows to happen is that they can offer these bonds and pay lower interest rates because the investor is then getting tax-free income on the back end. Make sense?
Yes.
So if you're buying municipal bonds in your IRA account, your retirement account, the income that you earn on any sort of bond within a retirement account is tax-free.
Tax deferred.
Or tax deferred, I should say. Yeah, tax deferred. Well, you don't pay taxes on it in the current year. And
Right.
so why would you buy a lower yielding bond for tax-free income in an account for which you're not going to pay taxes in that current year anyway?
Right.
That doesn't quite add up or make sense. So I don't know what's going on there. If you have an IRA and you're buying municipal bonds in it, or your advisor's buying municipal bonds in it, might be time to possibly look for a second opinion
Or a new advisor.
or why that's happening. That's kind of a sleep at the switch kind of thing, especially if it's a lot of municipal bonds or most of your portfolio. I wouldn't understand why that could possibly be happening. Why you would be accepting lower yields on municipal bonds in an IRA versus higher yielding government bonds or corporate bonds that are usually AAA or higher rated anyway. So, that's kind of a red flag. I'd be asking some questions about that.
And then when it comes out of the traditional IRA, it's taxable to you.
Right.
So you're sacrificing lower returns with the idea that it's tax-free, but then when you take it out of the IRA, it's going to be taxable to you. It just doesn't make sense to do it that way. But we have seen that. We have seen that mistake happen. So, so you want to take a second look.
Yeah.
So
thanks for the question, Chris. Really appreciate that. Go ahead.
So once again, wrapping up a program here, we've got those workshops coming up. You go to our website, that's financialgroup.com. They are absolutely free. They do fill up fast, and they're at our offices here up in Altamont Springs from 10 to noon. The dates are, Aaron?
We have several of them. Again, Gary Abley's hosting Savings Last a Lifetime, 9 May. Justin Spittler is hosting Tax Efficient Investing in Distribution Strategies, probably going to talk about municipal bonds in that one, 27 June. And Charles Curry is talking about Social Security planning on 18 July. All of those are on Saturdays in our office, 10 to noon. Light refreshments will be served. And again, it's an opportunity for you to get information, learn about our firm, and go from there.
So once again, our website, financialgroup.com. Financialgroup.com. You could learn all about Aaron and me and the 14 other certified financial planners that work day in and day out tirelessly to provide retirement planning, investment management for a fee. So we hope to see you here at our offices someday soon, and have a great weekend.
Thank you so much, Joe Bert and Aaron Bert, two certified financial planners with the Certified Financial Group. Win Smith, a third of many certified financial planners in the Certified Financial Group, taking your calls off the air as this episode of On the Money comes to a close. He's available to you at 844, forgive me, he's available to you at 407-869-9800, 407-869-9800. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning tomorrow
Today
with the Certified Financial Group.